So today's Eloise's kidney appointment in Columbia. I just put on this outfit and then Mom comes out of her room. Do you want to put a pink shirt on too?
Yeah, let me see.
Uh-oh. So Mom's coming with me and we could match perfectly. You have black, we both have black pants on. So we could make this happen. We're headed up to Columbia. We're going up a little early so that I can get the kids some fall clothes. Because it's quickly fall here. It was fall like literally overnight. It was like 90 one day, and then the next day was like a high of 68. And they need new shoes, like all of their wee-wees are open toe summer wee-wees. So they need some shoes and just some like general fall clothes. And Columbia is a lot better for doing that than here at the lake. And then Eloise's appointment is later this afternoon. She has an ultrasound, and then we meet with the specialist that if surgery is required, she would be the one to do it. It's the one Brad and I met a while back. And so it's just gonna be a girls' day with me and Mom and Eloise. Eloise and Mom and I.
Fun.
So fun. It's just because your door's open and the car's on.
Oh, it's not on.
True story, I one time, oh yeah, the car's not on. I one time went into church with the car running and forgot that it was out here running.
Oh gosh.
But that was the time Susan and I went to Starbucks, so luckily we pretty much came right back out. First stop in Columbia is the Columbia Mall, which I haven't been to since high school. This is like the mall that me and my girlfriends would come up to. We would go to like a Mizzou game and then go to the mall before or after, and people thought we were Golden Girls. Close, we were on the high school dance team. So we're gonna hit the mall. They have an H&M in here, which I think is pretty good for like toddler clothing. So we're gonna run in, do a little bit of shopping. We have like an hour and a half before Eloise's appointment, and it's only like 10 minutes away, so.
I think I got $5.
Hi, pretty girl. For that drive?
Yeah.
Here, you should leave a link. What is it?
On my way.
It's an app?
Yes, it's an app.
We're not sponsored.
No. It's an app that you, it's on while you're driving. If you don't use your phone while you're driving, you get money that goes into this account, and then you can choose from things that you want to use your money on.
Is H&M one of them?
No.
Oh. So we'll leave a link in the description box below for Mom's referral link for the app, because if you download it and use it, then she makes money off of your trips too.
Yes.
So hashtag Team Barb. All right, Eloise, let's go shopping. Okay, little chick magnet. Elderly chick magnet. Yes.
Yes,
You
everybody
just
loves her, of course.
attract them.
Of course.
So we hit H&M pretty hard. This is all for Baron Lindell. I'll have to show you guys what all I got. And then we found a Christmas section. Basically the second we walked into Diller's, we walked into like a Christmas wonderland. And a while back I chose a owl for my tree topper, which it wasn't really a tree topper. It was just like a decorative owl. And Brad thought,
to keep on the top.
yeah, it just tips off a lot. So this display has an actual owl tree topper. So I obviously can't pass that up. And I think I'm gonna redo my whole Christmas decor this year. So I'm gonna have to look at everything they have.
Above the nipple.
Just above the nipple line is all, and the outcropping.
The areola?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so how'd the appointment go today?
I don't feel good about it.
Rachel used the Abridge app and shared it with me, but I haven't been able to listen to the whole thing yet, taking care of the twins. It's funny, I have more free time at work than I do here.
Totally.
That's for sure.
I know. People are like, are you really going back to work that soon? It's like, if I could have reversed my maternity leave and been at work for the first 6 weeks, I would have recovered much easier.
That's true. So anyway, she has 2 ureters? Is that?
It's like a duplicate system or something. She doesn't like it when it goes down the wrong pipe. I'm sorry. I know. Duplicated system. 2 ureters coming from a single kidney. And she doesn't know, she being our pediatric urologist,
Dr. Mom
Boatsy, doesn't know if the ureters connect at some point or if they both independently enter the bladder. She can't tell yet.
Okay.
I think they'll be able to tell with one of the tests that we're doing coming up, which are both going to be not fun for us.
So we'll go in and they need to put her to sleep?
No.
Okay, so she's awake?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Which might be worse.
But they're going to be doing an IV and a catheter.
Correct.
And they'll be doing a dye test.
Yes. 2 different dye tests. So I think the best case scenario would have been the kidney was just mild or moderately dilated. Instead, it's severely dilated. It's, she said, close to a stage 4 hydronephrosis, so like the worst dilation you can get. And it is really isolated on one half of the kidney, and the other half of the kidney is more normal, but it's also dilated, and she thinks either there's an obstruction and reflux on both of them, or there's so much fluid on the one side that it's pushing into the other side, something like that. And so the next step, I guess the best case scenario would have been it's mild or moderate, and all they would have to do is the VCUG. Is that what it's called? VCUG?
What the heck is that?
It's the name of the test where they put the catheter in and inject dye into the bladder, and they see if it's refluxing. They see if the dye goes into the kidney, which would mean it's reflux. If it doesn't go into the kidney, that means it's a blockage.
And so with a reflux, they would just watch it, and with a blockage, depending on how severe it is, may or may not do surgery.
With reflux this severe, she would be on an antibiotic.
For the rest of her life?
I think it's for like several years until this maybe resolves on its own. But if it's reflux, she's at a much elevated risk of a bladder, like a UTI, bladder infection, ultimately kidney infection. Like if she gets a UTI, it's really dangerous because that bacteria we know is going back up into the kidney. So it's a serious deal, and I think they put them on just a prophylactic antibiotic to try to prevent any infection from occurring ever. But there's issues that come with being on an antibiotic for that long, lots of them. Some of them have to do with just like your general gut health. Some of them have to do with you building up a tolerance to certain antibiotics. It's just
resistance.
like, yeah, it's just not a good scenario to be on an antibiotic for a long time like that. So I actually like that less than I like the situation where if it's a blockage.
They can just go in and do a quick procedure.
Right. But that procedure would be under general anesthesia. So she would wait until Eloise is 10 pounds.
I wonder how often she performs that procedure.
I mean, she's only in clinic Monday and Tuesday afternoons and Friday mornings.
And the rest she's in surgery?
So, I mean, she's getting referrals from all over the state,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Is she the only
I don't know.
pediatric
No,
urologist in the state?
There's probably some in Kansas
I'm sure there's
City,
some at
Louis.
Barnes and St. Louis and
Yeah.
Kansas.
So,
University Hospital in Kansas City.
I remember her saying, like, a lot of times we just watch it, unless it's, like, stage 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get there and it's stage 4.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I kind of hope it's just a blockage they do, and
Me too.
they go in and do a simple surgery, and then it's over with.
I know, but putting a baby under anesthesia is scary. I guess they do it all the time.
I was gonna say, is it?
Yes, it is. Terrifying.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, and this is kind of like the highlight of the visit, the funny thing is she said, well, we would wait until she's at least 10 pounds to do a surgery. And she said, like, which would probably be in the next probably be about 2.5 months from now. But Eloise has gained an entire pound in 1 week. Like, she went to the pediatrician last Tuesday and she was back to her birth weight, which was 7 pounds. And then 1 week later, today, it was like 1 ounce shy of 8 pounds.
That's crazy.
I know.
Good job, Mom.
Thanks. She gained a pound in a week.
Is that healthy?
I don't know. I don't know. So, but yeah, she said until she's 10 pounds, and I'm like, okay, that'll be in like 2 weeks at this rate.
Our buddy would always make the joke that Rachel would, when she went to pump, she would make protein shakes.
Oh, yeah.
He's right.
Yeah, protein shakes. High-fat protein shakes.
So Eloise's next appointment is going to be early middle November.
Yeah.
So we'll know a heck of a lot more then after that dye test. Thanks everybody for reaching out and like sharing your stories, because basically all of them have ended happy. So that's good.
That is
Even
good.
if like your son or daughter has lost a kidney, it seems like everybody who's emailed or messaged that their child only has 1 kidney
They're doing great.
it's like outstanding.
So that's the other thing. We didn't really talk about the other test that they have to do, which I didn't know they were going to have to do.
What's that?
The IV, so they do the catheter test, and then they do an IV test where they inject dye into her arm or scalp or foot or wherever they can get a vein. Send dye through the body, and they watch the kidneys process the dye. Oh, they also give them that medicine that makes them pee a lot, like that people are on that have high blood pressure.
Right.
And then they watch how efficiently the kidneys drain the dye, and that's how they determine at what percentage they're functioning. So that's when I didn't realize they were going to have to do. And she gave me the option to do the reflux test, the bladder test, in the next week or 2, and then do the IV test later. The IV test requires a catheter also, so they're still rooting. So she said if we wait and do them together, then we only have to do the catheter 1 time. But the problem with that is if there is severe reflux, then we would start her on an antibiotic right away. So we have to be really careful over the next 5 weeks to watch for any signs that she has a UTI or infection or anything, and be proactive.
Which are what? Fever?
Weird smelling pee, like extreme fussiness that it seems like correlates with every time she pees. I'll have to review that part of the that's where a bridge is amazing, because I can't really remember.
Thank you, a bridge. This
Seriously,
is great.
we're gonna have to look back at what to look for, because she left it up to me, and then she's like, but I'm trusting you to be on the lookout for these signs and not to blow it off if something seems off. It can be extremely dangerous.
Good thing you have mama instincts.
Yeah, that's true.
They're strong with this one.
So anyway, not super great news.
No.
Like worst case scenario news. What could be worse?
Well, I guess a non-functioning kidney would be worse.
I guess.
Right? Because at least at this point, they could probably, hopefully, save the kidney.
She said, that's the other thing is, she said that she thinks it is possibly salvageable. Like the way that she said it made me think that maybe it's still not. There's not like a guarantee that it's working in there.
The good news, at least from my perspective, is every time I change her diaper, I mean, she's wet and she's going like she should.
Definitely.
So.
And she doesn't seem to be in pain, I think.
No, she's like the best baby ever.
Right.
Like, she's so quiet, I forget she's here sometimes.
She doesn't have any room to talk around here.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not serious.
No.
She, of course, has room to talk.
And of course I don't forget she's here.
So yeah, that's our kidney update. So we'll go back in 5 weeks unless she gets a UTI, and then we go back immediately for the dye test. And she might get a spinal tap.
Send us your good stories.
Yeah, the good ones. about how easy the VCUG and the other thing.
The IV and the dye test.
Yeah, about how easy they were.
We appreciate it.
Yep.
We appreciate you being here and subscribing to our channel and helping us grow. If you know any friends that are going through this kidney issue, tell them about our channel.
Yep.
All right. Have a great day.
And we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.